All right, we are back. We are back. So, this we left off. We were talking about words of death, or things that word that is would kill, instantly kill
Is
our
your
community.
video up? The picture up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Words that would instantly kill our community. Word of death. It's the name of our topic. If you're not tuning in, if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into Let's Look at This. As your host, I'm Dr. K, and my host, Minister P. And we're talking about this incident that can, that they're trying to help carry weights to, which is a gentleman named by the name of NBA professional basketball player Kyrie Irving. And so many things behind that, they're so that they're targeting people. Of course, look at it, they're targeting us for the most part. We are in a time to where we have to pay attention to detail and make it plain as reference to what the words that are being said. And again, we go into these terms, and it would be up to your personal volition to do that as reference to when you hear the word anti-Semitic, that you don't just go and run with what is said to you. You would have to actually sit down and actually research the definition, the real definition of it, and why does it exist in the first place, and what is the true meaning behind it. But we, early segment, we played the full interview of Kyrie Irving, but then now we want to play, talking about word of death. So many words can make a killing to you if you let it, and that goes into even words said by someone that may look like you. We had the and and it's like you would think that ministry in this time of we're in 2022, we would be surpassing what they would call buffoonery, but it still exists in today's time, which is sad. But this is what we have to deal with as a society in America. So we're going to go into the buffoonery words made by Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey, you should watch this. Correct? He's got 17 million Instagram followers, another 5 million or so on Twitter. You're all over social media. Do you ever put something out there, Shaq, that does not represent something that you feel?
I was probably one of the first guys on Twitter. And when I realized the power it had, I knew I had to be very responsible. Followers, platform, whatever you call it, I knew I had to be responsible. I try to make people happy. I try to make people smile. My formula has always been the same: 60% to make you laugh, 30% to inspire you, and 10% whatever I'm selling. You have to be aware of what you're doing. And you have to be aware that sometimes when you put stuff out, not everybody's gonna like it. Some people are conscious, some people are not. I can tell he's not conscious. He doesn't really care what's going on. But us, I know that the game that we used to love and we promote, it brings people together. And it hurts me sometimes when we have to sit up here to talk about stuff that divides the game. Now we got to answer for what this idiot has done.
So, Ministry, hearing what you heard and what you saw, how would you protect that? I mean, just that. Hearing that it.
Look, listen. This is the deal with Shaq. What he said, I agree with what he said, up to the point where he called that black man an idiot. Why are you attacking that black man?
Right, he's already under attack.
He is not an idiot. Okay, and you shouldn't label somebody as an idiot. Look, you have your opinion. He has his opinion. That's the glory of living here in America. Mm-hmm. I can say what I want to say, as long as, now listen, I'm telling everybody right now that this platform that we're on, Let's Look at This, and Love at Work Ministry, we don't condone hate speech. We don't condone hate rhetoric.
Right.
We know, we denounce that. But to call somebody an idiot that's ridiculous. You're
Yeah.
just perpetuating a stereotype, Shaq, and you got to watch it. And now you're about to criticize him for doing. Now look what you just did. You called that black man, who is a father of children, a husband, a brother, a
Mhm.
nephew, uncle. You call that whole. You call him an idiot
On national television.
on national television. Now, I agree with what Shaq said. He said,
Mhm.
what you put out there on social media, you have to take a responsibility for it. And that's
Oh, of
true.
course. Yeah, that now to up to that point.
Yep.
But if
Yep.
now, as reference to now listen to what Kyrie said, as reference to how he put it out there, it was they was questions about his name. So he said it relates to Yahweh.
Mhm.
And then so all he did was say, well, if if you choose to, I put a link to this movie, right? This documentary. Now you can choose to watch it.
Mhm.
That's on you. I can't force you to watch it. Now he didn't. That's all all he did was put it up there. He didn't put nothing to say, hey, blah 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 blah, this that and the third. This and that. He just put it up there, and it just had a title to it.
Mhm.
That's all.
Yeah.
So now Shaq attacking him, and now at the part that Shaq is only right about is, hey, putting stuff on social media and
Right.
how it would be portrayed if you have a big following. And if
Absolutely.
you're in the limelight as far as quote unquote entertainment, because that's all
Absolutely.
this is.
Right.
You're in the
Yeah.
limelight of entertainment, but you're on a serious personal side. You just posted something that, hey, I invite somebody, I invite my followers to watch this movie,
Mhm.
right? I just put it
Absolutely.
up there.
Yeah.
Now, again, that's the only part that Shaq had right. Careful
That's
what you
it.
put on there. But then when
That
you listen to
personal
Shaq,
attack.
yeah, that personal attack, when you listen to Shaq, just listen to him. To me, this is to me now, Mr. P. He sounds like a fumbling, bumbling Negro of old. The massa, I was responsible. I won't never do nothing like that. I'm careful. That's how that sound to me. Because my thing is, why even say that? Just say, hey, be careful what you put on. He said what he said, and let's move on. Right? The man made all he had to say was Kyrie made a statement. I thought if he wanted to elaborate on, he could have said, well, during that interview, I thought that the reporter was out of order. Because we're not here for that interview is not there for that type of question. It's a question of if you look at the logo behind us, the Brooklyn Nets, NBA, basketball. Those are the questions that should be asked in this room. Not
That's
about
it.
what my personal feeling is about somebody. Who
Yeah.
cares?
And then though, Dr. K, this is it. The personal attack. He just came straight out and said it over the airwaves.
Yep.
These days, pushing and ramming. Man, you cannot
Now,
attack
to,
another
to, to
person and
add
call
to
them
add
that
into
name.
that, Minister Peter, like
Mhm.
what you just said, didn't he
Yeah,
just say he's careful?
yeah,
He
yeah.
just said that. Now he's
That's what
double
I'm saying.
talking now. He's double talking because he just said you have to be careful. Now you said, well, I don't care to be careful. I'm gonna call this guy an idiot.
Right. And he said he is an idiot. He didn't say
Yeah.
his thoughts were idiot.
Yeah, right.
The documentary itself was of idiotic status. He said, "Black man, Kyrie Irving, come here. Let me talk to you a minute. You are an idiot." So you
And, and,
attack this black man.
and just in that, Minister, he should have pulled his coat and say, hey, man, what you said, I thought that was an idiotic statement. But I'm saying to you
The
personally,
statement.
behind closed doors, I'm not gonna get on when the question is asked to me on Inside NBA tonight. I'm not gonna get in front of the world and call you an idiot.
Come on
I'm
now.
not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
That's how it should have went.
I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't have done it. And then you listen. If you really listen to what he was saying, he double talked and said, "Well, you have to be careful what you put out there." And then he goes in and say, "Call Kyrie Irving an idiot." And he says, "Well, I wouldn't put that out there. I wouldn't put like that, nothing like that on my platform." My thing, and then went on to say, "Well, he's dividing. How is he dividing the NBA?" I'm
Yeah,
just, and it's gonna take us. Who is the us?
yeah. To
Who's
me,
standing
that was
behind you, Shaq?
right. Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
Okay, one. So we now have found out the truth of and the falsity of Shaq's statement. And we found out his anger and rhetoric and hate towards Kyrie Irving because he attacked him as a black man. So are we going further?
Yeah, yeah,
In-
we're
in-
going.
in-
Yeah, we're gonna get it all. I want to get it all out there so we can get it understanding. We don't want to half step this. We want to put it
Yeah.
all out.
Yeah. So we found out about Shaq, our viewers.
You know, I stand for equality of all people. I've always been like that. Don't matter what religion, no matter where you're from. I could say shalom, salam alaikum, ni hao, say bon, because that's how I was raised. So I don't really want to sit up here and answer questions for what he's done. You know, if you're looking at me, it's my job to make people happy.
Question is, what did he do? If we go back to his interview, he's saying shalom. From what we heard of the interview of Kyrie Irving, where in there did he said again? We go back to that question that he said he hated anybody. Because that's, if you listen to Shaq, that's how Shaq's talking. Like he said, oh yeah, Kyrie said he hated this whole group or hated
Right.
that group over there. The interview, he never stated that he hated anyone.
Right. And we found out on Let's Look at This that was not stated by Kyrie Irving. Hatred rhetoric was not stated by Kyrie.
So let's continue with Shaquille O'Neal. I'm gonna call him Shaq Sambo, but his name is Shaquille O'Neal. Correction, people.
Yes, sir.
I can't speak for him and, you know, answer for you know, what he's doing. It's obviously by his answers and the way he answers, he doesn't really care.
Chuck.
Don't miss out on Black Friday.
So he said that he didn't care, and care about what? You know, that's why, you know, to me, Inside NBA is a scripted. That's a platform for acting. You know, they go over plays and look at halftime stuff, and they talk about coaches being here, there, and players being traded or whatever. But that part to me was scripted. It wasn't. If it was heartfelt, then that's sad. If that was a heartfelt statement by Shaquille O'Neal, and he put together something because they went to commercial break, then when they came back, before they came back, hey, you know, we're gonna talk about this right here, and what you gonna say? Well, I got something I'm gonna say, but he winged it. So emotionally, he acted out something well. He said, "Well, I'm gonna ask you this question." And to me, whether it was truthful or not, again, we go back to if it was a personal statement using the word idiot, and then using the terms of, hey, he's dividing us. Who are you? Who is he dividing? I didn't understand that part. Like who he's supposed to be dividing.
Well, I'm glad you didn't understand that because that was an untruth.
Right.
So,
I mean, I understood it, but I don't understand, you know, why he would make that statement. But I understood it. But like you say, it's untruth, or
it was an untruth.
Yeah, it's like who is he dividing, and why would he need to be an idiot for that statement? So something that you said he said, and he didn't even say a statement in the speech. That's the falsehood in this whole aspect. He just posted a documentary movie on his Instagram to say, hey, just watch this, the people that follow him. Now, in Kyrie Irving's defense, what he said was, hey, well, the post up there was a documentary posted, don't mean that you had to go click on it and watch it.
Right.
If you're not on Twitter, you're not on Twitter. If you're not on Facebook, you're not on Facebook. If you're not on Instagram, you're not on there. So you don't have to worry about what I put up there because it doesn't apply to you. And if you are following me, you could have just ignored it. Oh, he said what he said. Oh, I see it. But you see how elementary the society has become as reference to us. It's like we become more and more of a child today than never now. We already are wrapped up in the terms of gal. Here's the black woman being called gal and black man being called boy. Then we just go through them terms back in the 60s, ministry, holding signs up and saying, I am a man. We already went, didn't we? I thought we got through that. I think we did. I mean, help me understand this. I thought we got past that, but I see we've only reverting back to it. And then Shaq tap dancing for whoever he's tap dancing for to make that type of statement is sad.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this question. We got 6 minutes, so are we doing a part 2? Because there's so much more There
Oh my
is
goodness.
there is the official statement by Kyrie Irving that I would love to read, but we won't be able to cover that, man, in 6 minutes.
No.
Also, you still got the big statement by Charles Barkley to come.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But Dr. K, what's the other basketball player name that's sitting beside Barkley?
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith. His statement. We have got to hear his statement because
Yeah.
that's the statement that I stand with.
Yeah. Because and I, I don't recall. And correct me, people out there that's listening. I don't recall him making one, but if he did, we're gonna on our next part two of this. Yeah, we definitely will cover it, and we want to hear all of that because it's sad that we have to go in depth to break that down because these are people that's entertained. This is not the you and me, Minister P, like the regular. We're the regulars, right? We're not showcasers. We're not entertainers. We're not entertaining anyone on this platform. We're not tickling anybody's ears. We're for education and to get to the point of where we can resolve things and put in a code so we don't have to hear terms from Charles Barkley or terms from Shaquille O'Neal making a statement, Shaquille O'Neal using the term and calling someone idiot on a broad scale of a platform. Now, the question is, will he apologize as they want Kyrie Irving to apologize for? Then we got to go into that. You know what they want? There's 4 things that they want him to make a statement on. One, he's supposed to be an apologist. He has to be an apologist to what they quote unquote say he said, which he didn't even say. He just posted something. Let's make that clear. 2, he has to show face of being in public with what they call a rabbi or whoever, somebody of that community. He has to be shown face with them. 3, apologize to the NBA. It's just some buffoonery and foolishness that why when we say something, we have to go to full strength length that we got to apologize to someone and be sincere and crawling and begging. And then when somebody does an atrocity to us, oh, let's move on. They blew a gasket. They'll get over it. They're strong people. And then it just goes away. Nobody says anything. Why is that?
That is the condition and mindset of our society that we are fighting against. We're working against that. We're moving against that. And so as we continue to push towards that, we always bring out the truth. And everybody, I'm so glad that we brought out the truth of Shaq's statement because it showed him now in the light that he sits himself in. He will attack another black man. He will call him and his family heritage a name, and then he will put the word divisiveness in there. That's an old psychological straw man trick. I got everybody on my side. Hey, there's nobody on your side.
You're right.
So, come on, let's get this right. So you're trying to build a perception. So those 3 things we learned from Shaq's statement. See, number 1 is you attacked the black man. Number 2, you presented a falsehood and made it a perception. And number 3, you said that you wouldn't do a certain thing, yet you did it yourself.
Right. You double talked and did it yourself.
You did it yourself. So
talking about he's careful. Careful around who? Apparently you're careful. You're not careful around somebody that looks like you. You can say, well, he mainly said in these words, I don't give a damn. But I give a damn about you all, the other side. And I'm careful with my words. Didn't he say that? Correct me if I'm wrong, Minister.
That's what he said.
He said he was careful with his words.
Those are the 3 points that we brought out. And I hope our listeners and viewers and friends and supporters understand this. We're bringing out these 3 points so we can understand and become educated, not just to listen to words, but carefully understand what is being said. And we found out today through his words that he is not a promoter of equity or equality when it comes to the movement in the
and he didn't he not use those 2 words you just said to me? He said equity and equality, right?
Absolutely.
He said he's for that.
Yeah.
Especially his
Well,
reference to treatment.
well, your words spoke different. See, that's what I'm saying. You put your statement of truth out there,
Yeah,
and then you know people are going to dissect it. So be
exactly.
very, very, very careful what you say.
He said he
So,
was careful too.
yeah.
He said he was careful about what he puts out there. It's a shame, Minister B. It's really a shame that we are under attack as a people already, and then we have to endure some what they call the talented 10th, Shaq and them. Now let me be an attacker, because the talented 10th ain't worth 2 cents, to be honest, because this the stuff they do. They get on platforms and they can say this to the world: hey, that guy's an idiot. And then, as you said, put a straw man incidents out there and say, hey, I got everybody on my side now. And nobody's like, yeah, I don't back that.
Look at that.
And then look at your statement you just made. You just made a statement saying that you are careful with your words and what you put out there. And then you just turn around and call somebody that looks like you an idiot. Help make it plain, Shaq, and help us understand what is your motive.
Absolutely. But I'm glad that our viewers and listeners are being educated through this show. Let's look at this word of death, and we are seeing beyond the perception out there. We're starting to understand word by word what's up.
We have to. Well, people that that you see how time flies. They say when you're having fun. And we try to make this fun and educational, people, so we can get to a point of bettering our minds, bettering society. Because my thing is, Minister, if society doesn't want to be healed and better, then what do they want? What do they want? Society, what do you want? If you can't heal and be better at things and be better to move, as I said it before, Minister, on our last show, if technology improves to get better, how come the mindset of people are not getting better? So, in saying that, I invite you to tune in to us every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. every Saturday. Let's look at this. And with your host, I am Dr. K, my co-host, Minister P. And invite you to donate to help us. Please donate. Please, we'd lovely to have those funds to help keep us to push and to grow, to get better at our platform, so it would allow us to be able to bring a broader stance of media, better media than what we have to pay attention to and look at times. Because to be quite honest, personally, some of this stuff can be quite sickening and not in the form of education wise. But, this is the type of society we live in. And to get that better mind and understanding and mindset of, and, to be, and here's a man, Minister B, to say this before I go into what I'm going to say next. Here's a man who may get up tomorrow and go to church and ask somebody to pray for him, but still saying, well, no, I said what I said. That guy's an idiot, right? And then you're spewing hatred amongst your own kind, and to put words in his mouth that he didn't say. So maybe Shaq should take a word from somebody that doesn't have the type of money he has, from somebody that's on the grassroots level, and maybe giving a word of advice that he should stay at home and tune into Love at Work Ministries. And maybe he can find himself from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Shaq, Charles Barkley, any other entertainer out there. You need a word of healing, even on this platform. We're about words of healing, not even though Ministry, we have our talks about the aspect of religion, because that's who we are, right? We're a cultural people. We're in the same tribe, but of different tribes. If you understand what I'm saying, we're in the same tribe, but in different tribes, and we may have our tug of war as reference to what's happening into religion, right? But we still have the same viewpoint and goal of where we're trying to go. And I surely would never call you an idiot. And I don't think you would ever call me that. That's reference to what was my stance on something.
That should not take place.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put words in your mouth. It's reference to something that I said, even if you posted something. I said, well, no, he didn't say that. He just posted to say, hey, people, if you want to watch this documentary, here it is. Well, here's a documentary you should watch. It's Love at Work Ministries from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Sunday, every Sunday morning. With your host there, Minister P. And please donate to us at KTSE Media Cash App. That way we can get other people on platforms to talk about things that more or less correlate to something that makes sense, because we have to make sense of this thing to get to a better understanding of where we are in society. Because if we don't, we're what type of society are we? Will be the question. What type of society are we? Are we a vindictive society? Are we an evil society? Are we a goofy, confused society? And I'm leaning more towards that goofy and confused with the evil backing it, and no good is coming up out of it. But a few, because we're in society, Minister B, and we're part of that good. I guess we could say we're of the 5% of good that's coming out of society. But I leave you with peace. In the words of Shaq said, well, I greet everybody in Assalamu alaikum, shalom. God bless you. I would say peace to everybody that's out there that's listening. Invite you back. And any last words, Minister B, before we get out of here?
Yes, brothers and sisters, start taking care of your health right now. Put the right stuff inside of you. You got a long winter coming. Peace out.
Oh, yeah.